at 7:03 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time today and are now in orbit. They are set to arrive at their destination, the International Space Station.
In terms of precautions, they'll have the standard precautions that any crew has. They'll obviously have their suits that we've sent up and tried them on. They've got custom seats that are made to fit their body and their suits. And then, every crew that comes back goes through a fluid loading protocol just to make sure when they get back that their body is conditioned properly. But they'll go through there's nothing beyond what we'll normally do. They've done training already on the Dragon spacecraft while they've been on orbit to get familiar with the differences in the suits and the umbilicals and the seats and all that. So they'll be ready to come home when we're ready. We'll watch the weather. The weather's always a challenge. And then in terms of celebrations, I don't think we've thought that far ahead. Obviously, we're excited to get Crew 9 back, and I know Butch and Sonny are excited to come back. And then and we'll celebrate, when they're ready. It'll take a little time to get them back reconditioned, and then we'll do a proper celebration.
All right, thank you, Steve, and thank you all for being here. It was a spectacular launch. Really happy to have the crew on their way to the International Space Station, and looking forward to seeing their happy faces on board very soon. As is mentioned, they'll dock tomorrow night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to the forward port of the International Space Station. We're going to have a short handover with the Crew 9 guys coming home no earlier than Wednesday at this point. Of course, we'll be looking for good weather. It might be later than Wednesday when they come home. We're trying to keep the handover shorter because recently and last year we've had some handovers that were more extended, waiting on good weather, and so we don't want to lose any good opportunities that we might have in this case. We're trying to stretch the consumables, we'd rather have less of an overlap of the crews in this particular situation.
That I would say, Elon's all about going to Mars. He has been since he started SpaceX and before that, right? So it doesn't surprise me that he wants to focus on that. That excites me too. But what I'll tell you is our work in low Earth orbit, our work with ISS, the future work we'll do on our commercial LEO platforms, low Earth orbit platforms, is about Mars too. And one of the fastest ways to get to Mars is to do work in low Earth orbit. So I think we're going to have a lot more time with astronauts doing their work close to Earth in orbit nearby.
Okay, we just have a few more seconds so we can grab one more from Will.